You don't always say too little. Sometimes you say too much. You explain your position, then you explain it again. Then you add context. Then you soften the edge of what you just said. Not because you're unclear, but because something in you is adjusting in real time. The room shifts. There's resistance. Someone pushes back. The tone changes. And instead of holding your position, you start managing the reaction. You add more detail. You justify your thinking. You soften your stance. You try to make it land better. That's the pattern. Over-explaining, people-pleasing, softening under pressure. And afterwards, it's obvious. You can see that you said too much. You can see that you diluted the point. You can feel that you moved away from what you actually meant. But in the moment, it felt necessary. That's the clue. Because this doesn't happen everywhere. You can be clear, direct, concise. You know how to communicate. But when pressure becomes personal, something shifts. Not in your intelligence, in your identity. You start to orient around the room, how it's being received, what they might think, whether this will create friction. And without realizing it, your position starts to move. This is not a communication problem. It's an identity problem under pressure. Because when identity is stable, you don't need to over-explain. You say what needs to be said. You hold it, and you let it land. But when identity destabilises, conviction goes with it. You second guess. You soften. You adjust. Not because your thinking changed, but because your reference point shifted. You moved from what is true to how is this being received? That's where the break happens. And once that shift happens, everything downstream changes. Your language changes. Your tone changes. Your clarity drops. Not because you don't know, but because you're no longer anchored. This is why trying to communicate better doesn't fix it. Because the issue is not skill. It's what you're anchored to under pressure. So what actually needs to change? You need to stabilize identity. So conviction holds under pressure. So that when there is resistance, you don't adjust your position to manage it. You stay with what is true. You don't over-explain. You don't soften unnecessarily. You don't dilute the message. You say what needs to be said, and you hold it. That's conviction. And without it, you will keep explaining, adjusting, and second-guessing, even when you know you're right. That's the pattern.